So what is SailPoint Identity IQ? Yeah, so SailPoint Identity IQ is an on-premises IGS solution, and it's one of the popular leaders in the market. Yeah. So in the Gartner surveys, okay, SailPoint is one of the popular leaders of the market, guys. Okay. Yeah. It's an on-premises solution. And Identity IQ, okay, it's short form, they call it as IIQ, or you can also call it as Identity IQ. Yeah, it's a simple war file or a kind of J2EE project. Okay, a Java enterprise project. Yeah, so that is my SailPoint Identity IQ, guys. Okay, so it's just a war file kind of thing. Okay, that is an Identity IQ server software. Okay, so which we might need to host that particular software in any of the no, web application servers. No, there are a lot of web application servers that are all available in the market, like Apache Tomcat, or no, you can host in WebLogic or maybe IBM WebSphere. Yeah, so there are a lot of web application servers or the application servers that are all available in the market, guys. Okay, yeah. So with the help of this server software, no, we can host SailPoint in any of the versions. Okay, whatever the latest version of SailPoint you want to deploy, you can deploy no, with that particular software. Okay, server software. Well, next, IAQ follows. Okay, IAQ follows object-oriented programming structure, so which is a OOPS concepts. So if you're already having a kind of Java background, so probably you are coming from a Java background. So if you ask me, guys, to learn SailPoint, or maybe if you are aspirant of SailPoint, as a prerequisite, you know, someone should be having a knowledge of Java, or at least a core Java, or they should be part of uh, IAM background. So any of the identity IQ, or any of the identity and access management background, like having an Active Directory background or maybe networking Windows background. Okay, so at least an IAM background is necessary. Yeah, and as well as a Java is also necessary. Yeah, so if you want to become an expert, then these are all the two things you might need to work on. So object oriented programming, guys. Okay, as SailPoint has everything in the objects, like every part of SailPoint is having will be in a form of an object, XML object. Yeah, so that is the structure of the object. And if you learn about each individual object, and how that each object is connected to different object, if you are aware of that, then you are a good you are good to become a good SailPoint developer. Yeah, and as a another tip, so I want to share you this particular link here. Okay, all right, so let me click on this particular link. Okay, so there's a hyperlink here. All right, so I will share this particular link in the chat right away, guys. Okay, so just yeah, so if you want to explore more about SailPoint, yeah, so for the product informations and product descriptions and the product documentation, so this is the site which you can refer to, which is SailPoint documentation. Okay, so documentation.sailpoint.com. So this is an official website of SailPoint, so where you can get a lot of documents related to identity now, identity IQ. So see here, this is my identity IQ, and also about the file access manager, which is a SailPoint security IQ. So there used to be a product, guys, which is called as SailPoint security IQ. So this is your file access manager. So they have changed it to file access manager. I think its available version is 8.4. You could see here, you can get the documentations related to the file access manager and identity IQ, as well as identity now, as I said. So this is a this is where you get a lot of product documentations, guys. Okay, I'm just sharing this link. So whenever you get a chance, so try to get familiar with these particular concepts. Well, Okay, so let me go to Identity IQ. So the latest version of SailPoint, no, the available version is 8.4, guys. Okay, let me click on this product documentation. So you'll get lot of documents, guys. Okay, lot of fundamental modules. Okay, so see here, these are all the Identity IQ components and features. So you have this Lifecycle Manager, Compliance Manager module, Lifecycle Manager module, no, and we also have some artificial intelligence and AI module, yeah, PAM module, connector and integration modules. So you can integrate, you know, different connectors with the SailPoint, guys. Like, the service management, IT service management related applications such as Jira, ServiceNow, or any kind of enterprise application you can easily integrate with IQ. And some enterprise applications and the infrastructure applications like LDAP, Active Directory, and um, uh, some Oracle directory or Oracle database. So easily we can integrate with the SailPoint IQ, guys. Okay, so SailPoint has a lot of connectors as inbuilt, and we can always leverage those connectors for our integrations here. Yeah. Next, some PAM modules. So they also have some PAM connectors like CyberArk and all other connectors. Okay, cool. So we also have this cloud collaborations. Okay, cloud platforms. You can always do integrate cloud platforms as well. Yeah, and some risk and security tools such as Splunk, Logarithm, or any kind of tools you can easily integrate with the SailPoint, guys. Okay. Yeah, and there is a cloud access management, password manager module. We have access risk management module. Yeah, identity security platform, access request. So that is your no, access histories can be maintained inside the IQ. All of that. And there are popular communities as well, like Compass community, so no, developer community, identity university. So if you are planning for certification exam also, so people will go to this particular important links. So these are all certain important links which you can navigate to, guys. Okay, so try to no, register. If you have not registered to this Compass and developer communities, I do recommend you guys, like if you are aiming to become an expert inside the SailPoint, then I do recommend you guys to know be part of this popular communities. Yeah, so which will help you eventually what's happening in the industry, what are the challenges, or no, what kind of requirements the customers are facing. So no, this kind of things might help you guys. Yeah, well, okay, so let me go back to my slides. All right. Okay, so I think there's a question from Manish, but Compass registration is restricted only if the company we are looking. No, so earlier I think it is restricted, but you can still register with your Gmail now that no, that they have officially allowing the Gmail users as well. Like you can do register, but I think you will get some limitation, so you might not get a full-fledged uh, access, but still you can have the certain accesses where you can, look into the things. Yeah. So and it's always good, uh, like being a part of certain company and then doing a registration. So you'll get a lot of benefits as well, like the company documents, best practices, everything. So there, as I said, the lot of documentations I've shared, right? So even there you can find few of the documents like experts around the market, around the industry. They do post in that developer community and the Compass community. So even that will give you a lot of information, to master yourself. Yeah, cool. Next. Yeah, so next we have the SailPoint Identity IQ overview. Yeah, so SailPoint Identity IQ is a robust IGA platform, identity and governance solution. So it empowers an organization to manage the complete life cycle of the user identities, to serve the company, you know, central identity management activities. Like, you can do a centralized management of identities, including provisioning, access request, approvals, password management and access certification. So these are all the core concepts of SailPoint, guys. Okay, so core modules of SailPoint, I would say: provisioning, access request, approval, and then password management, and access certification. Yeah, well, and if you talk about the key features of Identity IQ, so user lifecycle management. So we can do a proper lifecycle management. So we can streamline the process of onboarding an user inside the organization. Yeah. So like in terms of managing their offboarding and onboarding. So when I say onboarding, like JML procedures, like joiner, leaver, mover procedures. So user is being joined the organization, and his access is being automatically provided for all the required applications. Yeah. So that is the no birthright accesses, granting the birthright accesses for the user. Yeah. So that is a joiner procedure. Okay. What are the applications that needs to be in the scope when we talk about the you know, birthright accesses? Okay. What are the list of applications I need to grant to the user? Yeah. And when it comes to the offboarding, so whether the user has been properly offboarded or not, whether the user's access has been deactivated or not. Okay. So when I say deactivated, it should get deactivated on time. Yeah. So let us assume the user has left the organization today. Then by end of today, all his accesses should get disabled. Yeah. So that is my leaver process. Okay. So leaving the organization. So basically the right people with the right access at the right time. Okay, so that is the ultimate objective of the user lifecycle management. So when I say management, it's nothing but your CRUD operations, guys. Okay, like create, read, update operations. So you're gonna perform all the JML procedures on top of the user, like if department changes happen, or the or maybe the manager transfer happens, or the designation change happen, or the promotion takes place for the that particular user. So everything will be taken care of automatically, guys. Okay, so what access the user should have, or what access the user should not be have, so everything can be handled automatically with the help of this SailPoint Identity IQ product. Yeah. So next we have the access request and approval. So basically this access request and approval comes into the LCM module of SailPoint, that is lifecycle manager module. So where users can submit the request for certain applications, like so there are certain requestable applications and requestable roles and entitlements that would be available inside the application. So that would be catered to the end user, so where he can submit the request for certain applications, guys. Okay, so that is the access request and approval process. Who should approve what? No, so if you are a SailPoint engineer, then one of your responsibility could be designing the approval flow, or maybe no uh, getting the requirement, like who should approve what inside the organization, or what exactly the hierarchical structure or the governance structure should happen inside the organization. So those things probably you might need to understand when it comes to the approvals, guys. Okay, access request and approvals process. Yeah, and there are a lot of workflows defined in the SailPoint, like which allow us to do the approval management. Like whether it's a single approval or multi-level of approvals, okay, series of approvals, or a parallel no, parallel level of approvals. What level of approvals the users is going to be maintained? Yeah, so those things can be designed or structurized with the help of SailPoint Identity IQ solution. Okay, next we have the streamlining of audit and access certification, guys. Okay, so access certification is nothing but audit. Yeah, an automatic audit process is called as access certification inside the SailPoint, guys. Okay, so there would be certain certification campaigns that do run inside the organization, like on a periodic basis, like on regular, like monthly, weekly, quarterly, or maybe annually. The annual certification campaigns will be running inside the organization. So most of you might have heard, like what is the company's. Okay, so in my company there is an audit is happening inside the organization. Okay, so you might have heard this terms, right? So what exactly they do in the audit, guys? Okay, so they evaluate the user access. Okay, whether the user is should have whether he's comply to all the access policies. Okay, what are the access policies that are being defined in the environment of the organization? So all that policies as being met properly or not. Okay, so those things will be done in your access review process. Yeah. Next, access policies. So access policies, like we do have provisioning policies in the in SailPoint, like create account provisioning policy, update account provisioning policy, delete account, enable account, lock account, disable account provisioning policy. There are different types of access policies, access provisioning policies that are all available inside the IAQ. Okay, that will no, allow us or allow an customer to meet the company rules and regulations or the policies to be maintained inside the organization, guys. Okay. And also the further benefits, if you ask me, like role based access control. So you will always get an insights for the role based access controls. Like in SailPoint we do have roles concept, like the bundles, we call it as bundles. Okay, so or we call it as RBAC. Okay, role based access control. So based on the user's role membership, we can decide like what access the user should be part of. Or yeah, it will reduce lot of manual efforts, lot of email exchanges and paperwork. Everything will get reduced, guys. Okay, if you have the role based access control implemented in the organization. As I said, SailPoint has an inbuilt ability, so where you can do automatic role assignments based on certain conditions and logic, and you can implement those to the customer. Yeah, so that is the role based access control. It's one of the key benefits of SailPoint. Next, we also have the password management. So you can do create the complex password policies, and then you can do enforce the password policies or password reset policies. You can enforce it, or you know, so password management is a kind of hectic activity to the organization, to manage their passwords. Okay, so if they don't have any sort of identity and access management or IGA product, a governance solution, then what happens is it would become, the company might become a non-compliant. The company might follow some non-compliance inside the organization because of due to weak passwords, or due to the insecure passwords or non-compliant passwords. So that would make a lot of effect to the organization, guys. Okay, it's always you know, good. The SailPoint has this password management in place, where we can manage the target passwords as well as the SailPoint passwords. Yeah. Next, we have the integration capabilities. So SailPoint comes up with more than 200 plus connectors as inbuilt, guys. Like you can easily integrate SailPoint Identity IQ. SailPoint gives us that flexibility to integrate easily or seamlessly with certain connectors, like popular connectors like Active Directory, SAP connectors, Workday, PeopleSoft, okay, and Oracle HRMS, finance organizations, finance applications, resource management applications. So there are a lot of applications, guys. Okay, so SailPoint does support those inbuilt connectors, guys. Okay, well. So next we also have this compliance, the compliance and reporting. So as I said, SailPoint. So when it comes to the compliance topic, as I said, the under the compliance, you would find this audit in place, and analytics, filtering and reporting. So when I say analytics, so we can always do. The customer might ask us like, "Hey, IAM team, I need this specific user's details." Yeah. So whether these users are compliant or not, so you might get these kind of requirements, guys. Okay, so that is your compliance activities or the reporting activities we can easily do achieve with the help of IIQ. So like a lot of compliance like GDPR or HIPAA and many more, a company can become compliant for many more of these kind of government rules and regulations, like HIPAA Act, or maybe SOX Act. So there is also something called as SOX, Sarbanes Oxley Act. the company should be compliant to that particular SOX audit as well. So if it is a bank or a financial organization, then it's always better to have that compliance thing. Yeah. So next we have the AI and machine learning. So SailPoint leverages AI. Recently, SailPoint has introduced security IQ and identity AI module. Okay, so with the help of that module, what happens is based on your access history, SailPoint starts asking us for some recommendations and suggestions based on your access revocation history, based on your access approval history. It will always do recommend the best practices to the certifier. So that could be a certifier or auditor, who may be handling that particular activities, guys. Yeah. All right. All right. This is the overview part, guys. Okay. So let's see the real world applications, where SailPoint is being used in which industries and why it has become more popular across the market. Yeah, in the IGS space. Yeah. So IAQ offers a diverse applications, guys. Okay, so diverse applications across the industries, like the financial institutions, like a bank, a insurance company. Yeah, so where they can securely manage the user accesses and the financial data, and by ensuring that the company is meeting all the compliance things and regulatory compliance requirements, like PCI or maybe the HIPAA. Okay, so meeting those guidelines. Yeah, so the HIPAA guidelines or SOX guidelines within the financial organizations. Okay, so most of the financial institutions use SailPoint Identity IQ, guys. Okay, next, the healthcare organizations such as hospitals or pharmaceutical companies. Okay, they do use SailPoint, you know, to manage their accesses, guys. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so protect and yeah. So when I say healthcare organization, so why exactly we use this particular healthcare organizations is because of meeting the compliance. We're doing the cost savings, doing the regulatory compliance. Okay, and meeting the SOX guidelines, and managing the accesses based on the users, like the right people with the right access at the right time. So everything can be structurized inside the organizations, guys. Okay, as well as we have the retail companies. Okay, so like when I say retail companies, like lot of companies, guys, like social media companies and other companies use SailPoint as their IGS solutions, guys. Okay, next, the government organizations like top US organizations. Okay, most of the industries like are being used in US, guys. Okay, so SailPoint has huge market in US. Yeah. So government organizations or agencies ensure secure the organize accesses, like sensitive accesses within the organization, critical accesses, whether it is being complied properly or not with the restricted regulations, and everything can be easily managed with the help of these IGS solutions. So that is the reason SailPoint also become popular in US. Like most of the government organizations are using SailPoint as their IGS solution. Okay, next we have the educational institutions, like a lot of popular universities do use SailPoint as their IGS solution. Yeah, so in order to manage their company, organization, users, employees, life cycle, SODs, to protect their student data, to protect their employees data, that is the organization employees data, professors data, all of that, the online learning platforms data, everything can be easily managed with the help of our SailPoint, guys. Okay, so and most of the interviews also, they do ask, like what is a stream you have worked for, or what is the organization you have worked for. Yeah, so which kind of organization it is, like is it a financial business? Okay, what business sector they are in. Okay, Cool. Yeah. Educational institutions, guys. Okay, so protect the organization, student data, and everything will be protected. So these are all certain real-time industries or real-time world applications that are using no, industries that are using SailPoint as their IGA. Cool. Well, so there are certain terminologies you need to understand, guys. Okay, so when you want to move to SailPoint technically, okay, so there are certain terminologies inside the product you must be aware of. So let me try to teach those terminologies. I'll try to keep more descriptive as much as I could, like what exactly that particular term is, and what is the background about that particular product, the terminology, why we use it, where we use it. Okay, so those things it might help you. Yeah, so application, guys. Okay, so the very first one is application. Yeah, so application is nothing but a enterprise application, a business application of an organization, guys. Okay, any real-time application inside the organization, like timesheet management application or leave management application or HRMS application or any kind of applications that is being there inside the organization where they are using it for the business purposes. Okay, that is called as an enterprise application, or it's an application inside the organization. Yeah. So next we have the connector, guys. Okay, so connector is a technical term. So it is being used for no, connecting to the applications, that is your technical applications. Okay, so connector is the technical term, as I said. Okay, it will allow us to connect to the business applications. So SailPoint offers lot of connectors as an inbuilt, guys. Okay, like SAP connectors, uh, Microsoft connectors, database connectors, like popular databases you can easily integrate, guys, like IBM DB2, MS SQL, Microsoft SQL DB, you can integrate with the SailPoint. It has a connector available. RPA, like robotic process automation, you can easily integrate with the SailPoint. Yeah. Well, okay, there's a connector. Connector is nothing but a technical bridge, or a technical a two-way communication will get established with the help of this connector, guys. Okay, so with the help of connectors only, we would be integrating our real-time applications with the SailPoint. Yeah. Next, the popular one, which is identity, guys. Okay, so there's a term called as identity. So in general terms, we call it as identity is nothing but a physical human being, or a, no, a physical no, person is called as an identity. Yeah. So identities refers to an employee of an organization. Yeah. So in SailPoint, we do refer identity cube. Okay, there is something called as identity cube, guys. Okay. So identity cube is a complete information of the identity, a 360 degrees view of an identity. So everything, and it's a core object as well. So this has a class inside the SailPoint, which is called as an identity object or identity class. So that class has lot of methods, getters, setters, and lot of methods in it, where you can retrieve all the users information, their department, their designation, the role they have assigned to, everything we can retrieve it with the help of this identity object or class. Yeah. Next we have something called as account. So what is this account? Account is nothing but a link. Okay, account can also be called as a link that is being attached to that appropriate identity. Okay, so each and every identity will have certain target accounts. Yeah. Okay, each identity has certain target accounts. Yeah. So that target account is also called as link. So we call it as link or account. So both refers to the same, guys. Okay, so in the coding language, we call it as a link. No, with the help of the link object only, you can get lot of informations, like link attributes you can retrieve. You can retrieve the entitlements of the user, all of that. Okay, so next we have the account group. So there's another term called as account group. So account group is nothing but an permission. Yeah, account group is nothing but an permission or a level of access. Okay, this is an authorization, no, that is there inside the target application. Okay, so let's take an application SAP. Okay, so in the SAP application there is some entitlement or the permissions. So each applications has a permission stored in certain attribute, guys. Okay, so it could be in a group membership, or it could be in a entitlement membership. Okay, or it may be a level of attribute. Yeah, so account group is nothing but a level of access or an authorization. Yes, okay, it's an entitlement. Yeah, cool. So next we have this entitlement here. So what is entitlement? Entitlement is nothing but a level of access, guys. Okay, so what level of access the user is going to have. So there is a slight difference between account group and entitlement inside the SailPoint. So there is no major difference, I would say. Account groups and entitlements are almost similar, has a similar features like similar privileges, like entitlements, like what level of access certain application might have, the privileges stored in an entitlement, or the privileges might stored in a group membership. Okay, that is a difference, I would say, guys. Okay, so there's a technical difference. Okay, so if you see it in the UI, so you would identify that difference, guys. Okay, so when you say it as an account group, so it will show in the identity cube as a hyperlink. So you can always do click on that group, and you can see the members of that group and a short description about the group. Now everything you can just find it across, so with the help of an account group. When it comes to the accounts, you can do see the members, owner of the entitlement, those things, but you cannot see it as an hyperlink. Okay, that is the only difference, I would say. Entitlement means it's just like a string. Yeah, it's not like a group. Yeah, so next we have the target system, guys. Okay, so target system is nothing but your, yeah, yep. So next we have the target system, guys, here. Yeah, so target system. Okay, what is a target system? So every application that have been targeted for an organization. Yeah, so any of the applications that is being targeted to integrate with the SailPoint. Yeah, so that can be called as a target system. Yeah. Well, yeah, so target system. Yes. Okay, so a target system is nothing but any of the enterprise applications which you are targeting to integrate with the IAQ, which you want to automate with the IAQ, which you want to automate the user creations and user assignments, everything you want to automate. No? So that particular application is also called as a target system. Yeah. So there's a target system. So next we have the authoritative thing, guys. Okay, so we call it as a authoritative data. Yeah, so is SailPoint is I could say there's a question from John. John says, is SailPoint is a cloud based? Yes, so SailPoint has two products. One is IAQ, and one is Identity IQ. So which is an on premises. Okay, I'm just typing your response. One is on premises solution, which is SailPoint Identity IQ, and Identity now is cloud. Yeah. So thanks for response, Manish. Identity IQ is on premises, when Identity now is a cloud based solution. All right. So next we have the authoritative application. Okay. So what is authoritative application? Authoritative application means the system of records. Okay. So whichever an application that is like a source of truth application. Yeah. So an HRMS application, human resource management system application, so where you have all your user details hosted in that particular application. Yes, okay, so so there's a real-time application, no, that is the input for our IAQ. So we call it as a trusted data or authoritative data of the organization. So HRMS applications. Okay, so who will have access to the HRMS applications, guys? Any idea? Who will have access to the HRMS applications? Anyone can answer? Admin. Yeah, so that's yes, great. HR. Mohan, that makes more apt answer. Yeah, HR people. Great guys. Okay. That's good no, good answer. Yeah. Well. So HR administrator or probably HR will have that particular accesses. Well, so a quick time check, guys. Okay, so there's a timer. Yeah, so there's one slide I want to just show you guys, and then we'll try to move with the terminologies ahead. Yeah. So question from Maha. What is the cyber octa mention? Yeah, what is that cyber octa mention? So there's a comparison. So because I am the trainer who takes that SailPoint Identity IQ batch coming June. Yeah, so June 1st. So what I cover is I do the comparison between no the SailPoint and CyberArk, and then Okta. Explicitly, I'll give you a lot of insights. What is the core differences between each product, which will help you to understand better, when you move forward. Cool. All right. So yeah. So this is my terms. Okay. So let's continue with the terminologies. Hope I have answered you, Maha. Good. Well, so authoritative, guys. Okay. So authoritative application. Okay. So an authoritative application means, yeah, as I said, the source of truth, or uh, a kind of applications, okay, which is an important application for an organization, that is an HRMS application. So all the employees information, all the organization employees information would be stored in the authoritative applications, guys. Okay, so as a fresh implementation project, what we do is we first integrate the authoritative application, guys, okay, in order to provide an input to IIQ. Yeah, and then we have this non-authoritative application. Okay, what does this non-authoritative means? Okay, authoritative means, on the other hand, we just discuss, right? This is an HRMS source. Okay, it would be a source of truth for us. Okay, when it comes to the non-authoritative applications, any business applications which is non-authoritative, no, any business applications are can be called as non-authoritative applications. Any target system can be called as a non-authoritative application, basically. Well, so next we have this identity attribute. Okay, so there's another term called as identity attribute. So in the identity cube, the very first tab, the very first tab in the identity cube, you would find, which is called as an identity attributes tab, which is called as attributes tab. So in the attributes tab, we see all the identity attributes, guys. Okay, so with the help of these identity attributes, no, there are a lot of factors, lot of things, lot of concepts that are all dependent on this particular identity attribute concept. So if you good or if you are good or much aware of these identity attributes, then you are good, with that particular, you know, to you are good to master the SailPoint Identity IQ, guys. Okay, because everything, most of the assignments and everything will be, takes place with the help of that identity attributes. Yeah. So next we have this rule. Okay, so there's something called as a rule. Okay, what is this term called as rule in IIQ? Okay, rule is nothing but a piece of code or a snippet of code, okay, which is used to customize the SailPoint environment, the SailPoint behavior. No, we can easily customize the behavior of SailPoint with the help of a rule, guys. Okay. Well, yeah. So and next we have a script. Okay, what is a script? Script is nothing but a Beanshell script. So what is Beanshell? Beanshell is nothing but uh, no, it's a combination of XML and Java. Okay, that is called as a Beanshell script, guys. Okay, so we use scriptlets. So like, one liner, two liner, those are all called as scriptlets. Okay, so rules are nothing but no, it will have more number of lines in it. Okay, 100 lines of code. Okay, so that's also one of the difference. Okay, people might ask you like, what is the difference between a rule and script? So script is always no, it's not a reusable thing. A script, okay, it would be specific to that particular no, section of the thing. Yeah. When it comes to a rule, okay, so rule means it's a, purely reusable one. Like, I can always do reuse the same logic for certain other rules as well, other sections as well. So that is the advantages having a rule. Yeah. So next there is a question comes from Dan. What is the major differences between authoritative and non-authoritative? So authoritative would be almost no, both are not same. Yeah, the first thing is like, no, as I said, both are not same. First one is uh, the first difference I would say, it's an input. Authoritative application is going to be always an input to the SailPoint. Okay, it is going to be like an input for our identity and access management system. Okay, that is an authoritative. When it comes to a non-authoritative, so non-authoritative applications are not going to be your source of truth or inputs. So those are all going to be your targets. Like user will flow from the HRMS. Okay, so how the user story happens, so let me tell you the story. Like whenever a new employee joined, Dan. Okay, so let me give you a right example. Yeah, great. You understood. Great. So when a new employee joined the organization, let us assume your organization's no HRMS application is Workday. Okay, so now a new employee joined the organization. Okay, what happens there? That employee should get created in my target applications. Okay, so once that user got registered into the Workday, so from the Workday, as a SailPoint, SailPoint reads the input from Workday. SailPoint gets the input from Workday. Yeah, and from there, SailPoint will pass that information to the target applications. Yeah. Yeah. So next, there is a question from Venkata. Authoritative application means data trusted. Yes, data trusted application. Non-authoritative application means non-requestable. No, it doesn't mean non-trustable. It doesn't mean like non-trustable. So it's like no, we generally call the authoritative data or the source of truth data as trusted data of the organization, because that is the input for the organization, right? So because every employee of the organization should be registered to the Workday, right? Every employee. So that is why we call it as trusted data or source of truth, or kind of authoritative. So when it comes to the non-authoritative, no, we don't say non-authoritative or non-trustable. So we just say like no non input. Okay, so no input kind of applications is called as non-authoritative applications. Yeah, good. So any application apart from your HR application can be considered as an non-authoritative application, guys. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, so next we have policy. Okay, so there is different type of policies that are available in SailPoint, guys. Like we have the detective policies, preventive policies. Yeah, preventive policies. Okay, what is a preventive policy, guys? Okay, preventive policy means like before the user's access is being granted. Yeah, so I want to check few conditions. I want to put some restrictions. Okay, so before granting the access, then I can just do preventive policies inside the SailPoint, guys. Okay, there's a concept of provisioning policies. We just discussed about the provisioning policies, right? So yeah, so this is my provisioning policy. Yeah. So next we have uh, detective policies, guys. Okay, so detective policies means we are detecting certain accesses as toxic combinations, guys. Okay, so, and then we are considering it as a violation. Okay, policy violation. Okay, so when I say term policy is nothing but a set of rules in it, and then if someone breaks that rule, it means he has done a violation to that particular rule. Okay, or he has breached that particular rule. Yeah, so this is my policies concept, guys. Okay, basically it is, these are all like SODs. Okay, segregation of duties inside the organization level. Yeah, so next we have the risk. Okay, so there's something called as risk. So risk is nothing but an uncertainty event, or maybe an unpredictable situation, or a vulnerability is called as a risk inside the organization. Okay, so within the SailPoint there is a concept of risk scoring. So risk scoring is nothing but a numeric value that SailPoint assigned to the identity. Okay, so based on certain factors, like what are the violations the user has done, like based on based on three important factors, the identity's risk can be determined, guys. Okay, so SailPoint always is capable of measuring the no, risk inside the organization. So that is coming from the policy violations, that is coming from the sensitive entitlements or the critical entitlements of the user, or maybe the access history. Okay, so based on the access history, like so whether the user has been properly certified or not, whether the user's access has been properly reviewed or no, that is the timely review is happening or not. Okay, so based on that, your risk will be determined inside the organization, guys. Okay, so next we have a term called as work item. Okay, so work item is nothing but no, for everything SailPoint triggers a work item, guys. Okay, so for every module, okay, so for every concept of SailPoint, there are certain work items types we have, like approval item, form item, we have certification work item, policy violation work item, other item. So these are all the work items that are all available, guys. Okay, so work item is nothing but a action item that is been assigned to the owner. Okay, so let us assume you are an application owner, guys. Okay, so there is a user A has submitted a request. Okay, since you are the application owner, the A's request will come to you. Okay, so SailPoint will trigger an email notification to you as well as a work item to you. Okay, so based on that work item, you can take a decision like whether you want to grant him an access to the application, or you want to deny that particular permission, giving that permission to the user. Okay, so these things eventually happens with the help of these work items, guys. Okay, so work items are actionable items to the certifier or the owner. Yeah, so that's called as a work item. Yeah, so next we have the audit. Okay, so there's something called as audit. So as we just discussed, like audit is nothing but a certification. Yeah, so there's a concept of certification. Yeah, so as a ability or as a feature of SailPoint, it has a certifications concept, like we can do launch different type of certifications like application owner, entitlement owner, no? And then a role owner. So those kind of applications you can do launch, and certification campaigns can be executed inside the environment. Yeah, so that is my audit, guys. Okay, so as part of the audit, we can do launch the audit activities. So next we have the deprovisioning part. So deprovisioning means removing the access for the user. Okay, so once the user got deactivated or left the organization, so we can always do deprovision the user accounts. That's called as a deprovisioning. Okay, next we have the dashboard. So in the user dashboard or SailPoint dashboard, we can do a lot of activities, like looking at the request, like what are the requests you have submitted inside the IQ, so you can track your request. You can see your approval sections, approval flows, and then you can take actions on those approvals. You can see the work items, everything you can do it with the help of your dashboard, guys. Okay, so next we have the workflow. So workflow is one of the important concepts of IIQ. Like every customer, most of the customizations that are no most of the customizations we do with the help of workflows only. Yeah, so most of the solutions that will come to the customer, no, that is with the help of workflows only, guys. Okay, so if you determine or if you create certain workflows, if you define the workflow, you can achieve lot of customized behaviors, like sending a notification upon some changes to the identity, or upon changes to the manager field or a designation field. So we can do lot of activities, guys. Okay, so basically you can launch an event, you can do a role changes based on the certain trigger point. Yeah, so we can trigger the life cycle events, we can update the identities information, we can do launch the audits automatically. Okay, so those are all the things you can achieve with the help of workflow. Yeah, so workflow is also called as a business processes, guys. Okay, so you call it as a business process or a workflow, both are almost similar. Yeah, so workflow is nothing but a sequence of steps, guys. Okay, if you ask me in the layman term, so workflow is nothing but a sequence of steps that are all happening, in order to achieve your customization. Yeah, cool. So next we have this role. Okay, so there's something called as a roles concept. Okay, role is nothing but a bundle of accesses or a bunch of accesses, guys. A bunch of permissions put together, we can create a role. Yeah, so that's called as a role. Okay, a bundle of accesses is called as role. Okay, so next we have a term called as a form. no, you can call it as a form or a provisioning policy. Yeah. So provisioning policy. So we, as I said, no, we can do create account, enable account, disable account, lock account. So those operations we can achieve with the help of the digital forms. Okay, so the concept of forms inside the IIQ, guys. Okay, so next we have the password. Okay, so you can do a password management as we discussed earlier, the password benefits, right? So you can set the password expiration. No, you can reset the user's password or the target password. Everything we can handle with the help of IIQ. Okay. So next we have the capability. So there's something called as capability. So within the IIQ, so if you want to give some additional privileges to the user, like you want to give an SailPoint administrator privileges, then you need to give a right capability to the user. So there's a capabilities matrix that SailPoint provides. Like we have the system administrator capability, identity administrator, application administrator, role administrator, yeah, auditor, compliance manager, compliance officer. So there are different roles we have, guys. So different capabilities. So those are all the user rights which you can assign to the user. Yeah. So there is my capabilities concept. Yeah. So next we have birthright. As discussed earlier, birthright accesses. Okay, birthright is nothing but the set of application accesses which you want to grant to the user in day one. Okay, it's called as your birthright. Yeah. So once the user joins the organization, what are the set of applications he need to have the accesses for? Like most of the commonly used applications like Microsoft Teams, Outlook, and then certain applications, guys. Because that's my birthright applications. Yeah. So next we have a quick link. Okay, there's something called as a quick link. Quick link is nothing but a quick access link. Okay, so there are various quick links available in IIQ, like create identity quick link, manage identity quick link, and then we also have manage access quick link, edit identity, view identity. So there are various quick links. We can always do create some custom quick links as well. So quick access links, it's mainly used for requesting the accesses and all of that, guys. Okay, that's called as a quick link concept. Yeah. So next we have the populations. Okay, so if you want a dynamic data to be available, so you want to have set of users or a filtered users for certain activity, then we go for this populations, guys. Okay, so we have this populations concept. Okay, so where you can group the users, a bundle of users, to this with that particular criteria we can group the users with the help of populations, guys. Okay, so there is also something called as group, which is called as a group factory group or a kind of group IAQ groups. So these are all limited to IAQ itself. So those are all called as IAQ groups. Yeah. Well, so these are all the important terminologies, guys. I thought of sharing with you. Okay, so the hope these terminologies will help you, yeah, in mastering your sale point. Yeah. So next we have the sale point job roles and responsibilities. If you are pretty much new, Uh, yes. So there's a question coming up from Ranjit. Yep. Well, so SSO. Should we mention SSO? So yes, SSO is single sign-on product. Yeah. So SailPoint does not handle the SSO part. So that is the reason I have not included because that's not a feature of SailPoint. So that's the reason I have not included in my slide. So mostly if you want to do the SSO activities, you can use Okta or you have ping access, ping federate, OAuth. Okay, so these are all the SSO solutions. Okay, great, Ranjit. Thank you. Got it. Well, so SailPoint job roles. So if you are multi-factor authentication, okay, so Nagesh needs sorry guys, I'm deviating in between, but I need to answer those guys as well. So there's a question from Nagesh, so which is multi-factor authentication. Can we explain multi-factor authentication? Why not? Yeah, I will just take out my notes for a moment, and I'll try to explain you what exactly the concept of. I need a running notes. Okay, let me just quickly open my notes. Or else let me do one thing. I do have running notes with me, so probably I can explain you with that running notes. Just to give me a moment, guys. Okay. So these are running notes I use for my batches. So I just want to. Multi-factor authentication. Okay, cool. So it's not here. Cool. So let me just try to explain you in Notepad++ itself. That would be more easier for us. Cool. Well, so SSO. What is SSO? It's a single sign-on. So single sign-on. Okay. So SSO means a single sign-on. It means with a one sign-in. Okay. So with a single sign-in, you can do access n number of applications, guys. Okay. So if you take an example, Google. Okay. So Google applications. Okay. Google applications. If you have a valid mail account, yeah, mail account, you can access all the applications of Google, right? So if you have one email account, you can access YouTube. Yeah. Is it asking us to type the username password every time, guys, when you are accessing the YouTube? No, right? So it's not asking us to fill the credentials, right? So the moment when you click on YouTube, it will directly logged into your YouTube with the help of your same Gmail password, right? So this is an entertainment platform. So there, you can take this as a real-time example, guys. Okay, so you have YouTube, we have Google Calendar, as well as we have Drive. So that is a Google Drive. We have Docs. We have Slides. So we have News. Yeah. So there are a lot of Google applications, guys. Okay. So with the help of one account, so we are accessing multiple platforms, right? Multiple environments, like entertainment, entertainment platform, calendar platform, Google Meet, documents related, storage platform. Okay. So in the back end, so all these Google applications are being handled by Google Suite. Okay, so they, as of now, I think they have given renamed it as Google Suite. Instead of Google Suite, they have named it as Google Workspace. Space. Cool. So Google's Workspace. Yeah. So what they have done, so it's nothing but they have enabled the SSO in the backend, guys. Okay. They have enabled the single sign-on in the backend. That is the reason it is every time when you ask, when you try to log into any of these applications, it's allowing us to log in automatically instead of asking a credentials for us. So what I mean to say is, like organizations also use this kind of solutions such as like Okta, yeah, Ping Access, Ping Federate, OAuth. There are a lot of SSO solutions that are all available in the market, guys. Okay, so you can procure the licenses of those solutions, and you can integrate your organization applications with that Okta platform. Then you can simply create one Okta account. User will be allowed to log into all the company applications, guys. Okay, so in the dashboard itself, it will cater it. Yeah, and Let me talk about the multi-factor authentication, yes, okay, MFA. So when we say MFA, what strikes in our mind is like, no, we have OTP, popularly used factor of authentication. So before that, we also use one of the basic authentication, yes, okay. So basic one is credentials, okay, credentials, okay. So the very first one is credentials, right? So every user will have a basic username and details, okay, username and password, right? So that is the credentials part. Yeah. So one factor of authentication is credentials. Okay. So the second factor of authentication is, so most of the applications will have the basic credentials part, guys. Okay. Only few applications will have, like, a OTP based authentication. Okay. One time password based authentication, or we can also say, like, SMS based authentication, or maybe a security questions based authentication. Security questions. So no, there would be a couple of questions. Okay, so let us assume you have forgotten your password. Yeah. So if you forget your password, when you click on the forget password, okay, when you try to reset the password, okay, so it will ask you, I should recognize, right, whether Ranjit himself is trying to, resetting the password, or Nagesh himself is trying to reset the password. So to identify that, we need this, authentication methodologies, like, multi-factor authentication methodologies, like, SMS based verification or OTP based verification, like, in order to see whether, Nagesh himself is resetting the password or not. Yeah. So what they do, them the moment when they click on forgot password, it will ask you, okay, a OTP. If you give the right OP, then it, right OTP, or the SMS, okay, whatever the SMS you have got, so write details, no, write passcode. If you provide it, then SailPoint, not only SailPoint, like any solution will allow you to log into the system. Yeah. So next we have the security questions, like, it will allow you to reset the password basically. And security questions, when I say security questions, like, as I said, it might ask you your, no, date of birth, or it might ask you a place of birth, or it might ask you what is your favorite food, or favorite no, sport, favorite book, favorite author. So all these are being questioned to you, right? So when you're trying to reset the password, so you need to pre-feed these answers already. Yeah. So when you create an account, these answers should be pre-feeded. And whenever you want to reset the password, so some of the questions will pop up from those questions, from those pre-feeded question answers. Then if you answer it correctly, then it will allow you to log into the system. That is a security questions based authentication. Yeah. So next we have, yeah, so next we have something called as RSA token. Okay. So most of you might have seen a device, a small device, guys. Okay. So it will give you some numeric value. Yeah. And also we have some authenticator apps, like, authenticator app. So authenticator apps, like, we are aware of it, right? Like, most popular ones, Google, Microsoft, Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator apps. Okay, so that are being used. No, so when you're trying to access something, so it is generating a token for us, and it'll allowing to, logging into the system, right? So these all things are used for secure the logins, guys. Yeah. So this is your multi-factor authentication part. Yeah. So hope you got the information, Nagesh, what you're looking for. Yep. Clear. Well, okay, so if you want to master, or okay, what roles and responsibilities you could expect as a SailPoint engineer. So SailPoint IAQ has lot of job roles, guys. Like, developer, you can become a SailPoint developer, implementation engineer, or you can even become a support engineer or administrator. Okay, so various roles that are available inside the IAQ, guys. Okay, so let me show you some of the roles. Yeah. So like, Yeah. So roles and responsibilities. Okay. What I want to cover here is, so as I said, there are different roles like, developer, business analyst, developer, no, analyst, consultant, engineer, yeah, architect. So these are all the roles you could expect, guys. Okay. Ultimate motivation of those, SailPoint IIQ job roles and responsibilities would be like, first one is implementation, guys. Okay. What is implementation, guys? Okay, implementation is nothing but a person who knows development plus administration plus support. That is called as implementation, guys. Okay. So you need to be aware of all these responsibilities. Then you would, yeah. Uh, Good question, Dan. So there's a question from Dan. Do we have to know Java to for these roles? Yes, obviously. Uh, if you want to become an implementation engineer or a developer, then yes, you need to aware of Java. Okay, that is at least a core Java. So if you don't know Java, then you can become a other roles. Okay, you can aim for the other roles like business analyst, so which is a no coding role. Like, you can become front end with the customer requirements. Okay, gathering the requirements, putting the requirements, preparing the business requirement documents, and then presenting it to the customer, coordinating with the customer. So those kind of roles you can expect. Yeah. And as well as you can become a kind of analyst. So where you would be like a just a coordinator or maybe an admin role. Yeah, cool. Dan has a continuation question. So followed question. I know JavaScript. Does it help or should I learn Java? No. If you are good at JavaScript, yes, you are eligible to cope up, or you can even speed up your. I think it would be within a short span of time you can learn SailPoint. Yeah, you can become an expert in very short span of time if you are aware of JavaScript. Yeah. I think most of the logical part would be similar, Dan. Yeah, cool. All right. So, what is implementation definition? Definition implementation is nothing but aware of everything, guys. Okay. Yeah, it's like administration, support, and then development. Yeah, cool. So let's see what is there in the development role. Yeah. So now if you talk about the development, okay. Sorry for the interruption. So there's another question from Venkata. If I don't know Java, am I eligible to do this administration and support role? Yes, obviously you can do it. So you are always good to handle the administration part freshly. Yeah, so you can easily, you on the fly you can learn, on the go you can learn the SailPoint administration. It's not like a big task, I would say. Cool. So development, guys. Okay, so as part of development, you can, you might need to write some custom rules to do the customizations. You might need to know how to configure the custom workflows, how the custom workflows concept is, what is a, life cycle events concept, what is the custom, how to create a custom life cycle event, what is the different type of events we have. So that information they would expect you to be aware of, guys. Okay, and then the customization, the core customizations, guys. Okay, it's not like ideal behavior of SailPoint. At times you might need to do some customizations, guys. Okay, well, yeah, uh sure, Tarini, I would help you with that information. So just to give me a moment, I can share you this notes right away in the chat. Let me just quickly and however, this recording would be uploaded in the official channel of infosec, guys. Okay, so you can easily find it out. Cool. So you can just collate the things. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so here is my yep. So there's a question again from Ritesh. I have an experience with IAM operations and SQL Linux. Will that help me to pick up basics of SailPoint and gradually learn Java and then learn SailPoint? Absolutely. Yes, Ritesh, you are perfect to you're always welcome to learn. This is a good interest, yes, you're always welcome. You are eligible to learn the things. And since you come from a lot of no, industry experience, no, other industry experiences, so you are always uh, good to learn that. Yeah, so you will easily learn the SailPoint. Yeah. Could you brief about the onboarding of applications? Onboarding of applications, Tarini, I have covered it in my one of the recent webinars with InfoSec. So probably you can see my previous webinar. It will definitely help you if you go through that webinar, like how the application onboarding happens actually in the real time. So the title of that is SailPoint Interview Questions, Unlocking the SailPoint and Interview Questions. Okay, just try to search that for in the YouTube, you will get it. Cool. Well, administration, guys. Okay, so next we have the administration. So in the administration, what are the things they would expect you to be aware of? So like application onboarding, the configuration of certifications, that is the audit campaigns. How do you launch the audit campaigns? How do you monitor the policy violations? How to create the policy violations? How to define the policy violations? How to enforce the policies or apply the policies on top of the users? Installation, patching of SailPoint, yeah, and troubleshooting. So next we have the support environment. Okay, when it comes to the support role, so they would expect you to troubleshoot, monitor, closely monitor the SailPoint activities, like whether something is getting failed or what exactly happening inside the IIQ on the day-to-day basis. And next we have the reporting, like they would expect you to generate a report, uh, like the users report, a recent joiner report, leaver report, or mover report, those kind of things. Yeah, next we have the advanced analytics. So as part of advanced analytics, you can do wonders, like you can do search the users across the sale point with multiple filters. Yeah, so that is the advanced analytics part. Incident management, like the ticketing tools, if there is an service now or Jira or any kind of ticketing tool that are being used inside the organization, so they would expect you to work on that as part of the support activity. Maybe a manual changes you might need to perform on top of the user accesses. Yeah, cool. Yes, so what is the prerequisites for becoming an SailPoint master? Yeah, next I have someone with Ridish. There's a question, Ridish. Heard that Beanshell scripts were widely used in SailPoint. It is still used uh, or still relevant in 2024? Curious. Yes, yes, it's there and it's easy. You can learn it, Ritesh. So if you follow my prerequisites, okay, if you see my slide, this is the prerequisite slide. If you are good at these things, then you're obviously good to do the Beanshell scripting. Cool. So you see here, what is a Beanshell script? The definition of Beanshell script is nothing but yeah, it represents, as I said, IAQ represents the objects, right? So XML plus Java. Okay, so Beanshell is nothing but an XML plus Java is called as a Beanshell script. Yeah. So as I said, for the development no development role, you need a core Java. So for the role development and performing the customizations, and you also need, these are the skill sets you need, guys. Okay, if you're aiming for learning the sale point, or if you're aiming for mastering the sale point. Yeah, so HTML, XML, CSS you must be aware of. MySQL, those basic things like how to fetch the data, how to write the basic queries. And you must be from the IAM background, like uh, maybe a AD or SSO or a PAM tools. Or next we have the Apache Velocity scripts. Okay, if you know the Apache Velocity scripts, you can do customizations on the email templates. Like I've given a lot of links here, so let me just navigate to those links. Okay, so let me click on those links, guys. Okay, yeah, so one by one. Okay, So I think there is some more questions are coming up. Have heard about new technologies covered. Identity solutions will be upcoming technologies replacing SailPoint Cyber. No, so there is no Akab Sheikh. So there is no relation between SailPoint and CyberArk. There are both different products. So you can always aim for so overall it's cybersecurity. Yeah, so it's a cybersecurity product. So in cybersecurity, so you don't need to no, worry much when you opt for a cybersecurity kind of role. So you would be flexible even to learn SailPoint and then move to CyberArk later as well. So that's also possible. Okay, Nagesh, as a fresher, which course better, SailPoint or Savient? SailPoint. Obviously, you need to go for SailPoint. What is covered in identity right IAM? What with respect to the IAM? Okay, so you can go to my previous webinars. Okay, I might have covered a IAM career guide. So you can search with IAM career guide in YouTube. You would get some relevant video. So that is from myself only. So you could get it in the InfoSec website as well. So go to their official channel. You will get the recording. So follow that. It will help you. Yeah, cool. So next we have this XML. So as I said, you need to be aware of XML, guys. Okay, so you need to master the XMLs. So let me click on this link. So there's a W3 schools website. You need to go to this particular website. Okay, so I think the link is not accessible here. So cool. I do have the links with me. So I will just try to open those links and parallelly I would share it in the chat. So you can just go through those links. Yeah. The very first link is my XML. Yeah. So XML part. So let me copy the XML link. Okay. So this is the link. So you can just start learning this basics of XML. So what is the syntaxes, how the XML codes, what are the basics, what is do's and don't. Okay. So you don't need not to be an expert of XML. So it's just the basics, how it works and everything. So this is the thing. What is XML syntaxes? What are the tags? What are the entries? Now how it would be looking like. So you see here this is an XML note. Okay, from heading and then body of the mail. Yeah, so cool. So you can just go through this XML, guys. Okay, how to comment it out, those basics. It will help you. Yeah. So this is one thing, and as well as the other ones, I have the other link I have for today is MySQL link. So again, it's from the W3 schools. Okay, so it's a good website. So you can learn MySQL. So let me just go to MySQL link. So if you want to master SailPoint, so this is also the tutorial you need to follow, guys. Okay. So this is for MySQL. Okay. So the basic queries, guys. So you don't need to do the entire training, but I think so. Few things like what is the select query? How do you do the select query? So see here, this is my select query. Okay. So you just need to type select from which table you want to, and this is how the result would showcase for us. Like customer ID, customer name, contact name, address. So these are the details will show up, okay, in your queries. So you can do there are a lot of playgrounds as well, so probably you can do some playground activity as well on the MySQL and no, XMLs. Yeah, cool. So next we have Apache Velocity. So let me take you through that Apache Velocity link. So if you are trying to master the SailPoint templates, that is the email templates. So you want to customize the email templates, then this is the technology you must be aware of, guys. Okay, this is a basic, like how to use a variable, what is the for loop, for each loop, if loop. Okay, so these things you might need to be aware of, guys. Okay. The basic syntaxes you see here, hello world. Okay, so ideally we use these things in our email templates, guys. Okay, in the customizing the email templates. Cool. So I'm just sharing this Apache Velocity link as well. So this is one of the important link. You can look for. Okay, so the other one what I have is PowerShell. Yeah, so it's not like, as I said, all are like lightweight, guys. Okay, so you don't need to be the complete expertise is not required, but it's it's always good to be aware of this PowerShell scripting as well. So there are a lot of playgrounds, like, so these are all the few things you must be aware of, like scripting, exercise scripting, parameters, flow controls. So these are all the good things, you need to learn the PowerShell scripts, like, how to create a folder, how to, run some search queries, how to modify the user details. Okay, so those are all the frequent things you might need to be aware of. Yeah, so this is my PowerShell scripting. I just shared it in the link. So next we have the CSS, that is for the branding. So inside the SailPoint, we have the branding concept. Okay, so with the help of that branding, okay, so in the branding concept, we use this CSS, guys. Okay, so let me take you to the CSS. So this is again W3 schools. So you can go to Java Point or W3 school. So it's up to you. So basically, it's nothing but doing a customization to your UI. So you see here, this is being done with the you know, CSS platform. Yeah, so CSS cascaded language platform. So you just need to know how the color codings will be given. No, so the some basics, if you are aware, then you can do master the SailPoint, guys. Okay, cool. So these are all the few things I had. Cool. So let me go to my next slide. Okay, did I share this CSS one? So let me just quickly share the CSS link as well. Well, and okay, so if you are looking for the core concepts of SailPoint, then you can look for this. Yeah, so let me go to my next slide. Yep, so Java. So in Java also you need not to learn complete Java, guys. Okay, so I have made it easy for you. Like you need to work on OOPS, the object-oriented programming concepts you must be aware of, and as well as data types and conditions such as logical operators like if, else, ternary, loops like for loop, while loop, do while loop, exception handling like try catch, collections like iterate, map, is, hash map, list, tree set. Okay, file handling, date, calendar. So if you are good at these Java topics, then you are good to master the SailPoint, guys. Okay, to do the SailPoint development. So you see here, retrieving an object from IAQ, guys. Okay, via Beanshell. So how we are doing is, there is a predefined methods that are all available, guys. Okay, you see here, get object by name, get object by ID. Yeah, so here I am trying to do get object by name. So you see here, identity user is equals to context of get object by name. So there is a class which we need to define. So that is my identity class, and then the name of the identity which you want to fetch. Yeah, so here I am fetching the for a given identity, I'm getting the manager. So how I'm doing it here, guys? Okay, so user of Bob dot, I'm getting a Bob identity, and then from the Bob, what I'm doing here, so return user dot get manager. So get manager will give me the manager's information. Yeah, so application, so you can get a name of the application, connector type of the application, owner of the application. So this is to retrieve an application, guys. Okay, so here they are using an object. So here get object by ID method. So you can use get object by ID or get object by name. Yeah, well, so how will I know what are the predefined methods and libraries packages which I need to refer? Yeah, so if you want to master SailPoint, then so this is my Java doc. So there's a primary location which you need to navigate to. So that is localhost identity IQ, localhost colon 8080 slash identity IQ slash doc. Yeah. So yeah, so in here in this particular location, so you would see a lot of packages and libraries, guys. So you see our open connector package, we have SailPoint package, SailPoint API. So SailPoint API is consists of context, emailer, and then connector package. So the connector bundle consists of delimited, JDBC, abstract connector classes, custom connector. So if you want to build a custom connector, then no, you need to go with the connector package, which is called as no, abstract connector package. Yeah, so abstract class. So with the help of that abstract connector class, you can build your own connectors as well, guys. Okay, so you can build the schema, you can build the no, fields, attributes, entitlements, everything we can do it with the help of this particular package, guys. Okay, so next we have the object package. So most frequently used package, which is SailPoint.object. So where you can get identity, link, bundle, application, managed attribute, provisioning plan, provisioning project, filter. Okay, so these are all the objects which we would be frequently using it, guys. Okay, so next we have SailPoint tasks, such as abstract task, like for creating a SailPoint.task package. So for creating custom tasks and all of that. So next we have tools like util object. Yeah. So tools like UI util, Java util package, SailPoint util package. So everything you would find to in that util object, guys. Okay, cool. So there are some libraries which you need to refer to. Yeah. So let me go to the next slide. As I said, the packages, guys. Okay, so in the same location, you would find these packages here, like all the inbuilt packages. You can navigate to them, and then you can explore those objects. What are the objects like identity object, link object, all of that. So if you ask me, you need to start. Yes, okay, so if you want to start, so it's always good to start with the no, the basic object, which is identity object. Okay, a popularly used object. Okay, so how to retrieve an object and all of that. So see here, this is a small piece of code I have written, guys. No, where I am trying to retrieve an identity's information into an XML. So see here, identity is equals to context dot get object by name. So in my no Beanshell, I've written this code, no, user 101010. Yeah, and then I'm returning identity dot get identity to XML. So see here, I'm able to read the XML object of the identity as a response when I run this particular rule here. Yeah. All right. So pretty much about this summary, guys. Okay. So I want to summarize what we have learned just now. Like you need to learn the core Java basics and the identity model, identity object model. You need to have a complete knowledge on that particular model, guys. And no, so before you start the development, you should have a good product knowledge. Yeah, so that is the IAQ knowledge, like what is the no terms, how we will incorporate those terminologies or concepts inside the sale point. Everything you must be aware of. Yeah. So next we have okay. So IAQ development is a bunch of kind of get methods, put methods, set methods. Okay, so this is your development, guys. Okay, it's a simple, I would say. Yeah. Next we have understanding of the objects and how to create a new object, how each object is connected with the sale point. So you can do the development if you know all these things, guys. Okay, cool. So I'm open for question and answers, guys. Okay, so if you feel anything you would like to ask me, you can ask me. I would try to explain you. And one more thing I would want to share is a link. Okay, so am I supposed to I'm supposed to share a link to you guys for the feedback. So before that, you can ask me, guys. Okay, if you feel anything like no. you want to ask or you want to get clarified with? Yeah, thanks, Anas, for sharing that. So there's a link, guys, that has been shared in the chat. So feel free to know, provide your valuable feedbacks for this webinar. Hope it has helped you in understanding the things. Hope you have learned something new today. So how do you feel, guys? Like, have you learned something new? Hope your journeys would be more successful with SailPoint. Yeah. Hope this definitely this particular guide. I want to make this as a guide. Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you, Kotesh. Uh, please do update the feedback, guys. Okay, it's one of my responsibilities. Thank you, Venkata. Thank you, Tarini. Okay, so Kotesh, can we unmute, ask a doubt? Yes, yes, please. Yes, Kotesh, you are allowed to do. Kotesh, you are saying something? Oh, okay. Yeah, speak up, Kotesh. Now I think you can do speak. Oh, cool. Just give me a moment. I will. Yeah, I gave a permission to you, so you can try to speak. I can't hear you. So please provide your confirmation, guys. Okay, once you have completed the feedback. Thank you, Dan. So if you have finished your filling the feedback, feel free to drop, guys. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you on June 1st. Bye bye. Thank you very much. All the very best for your future endeavors and SailPoint journey. Thank you, guys. Okay, bye bye. So link is not opening. Cool. Let me give you, Mohit, another link. Just give me a moment. Thank you, Praveen, for the confirmation. Yeah, I just gave you another link, Mohit. So you can probably use that link. Thank you, Manish. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Take care.